How's it going, everybody? Friday here at the house. Got home. Started messing with the Mustang 2 front end. Got the ends of it cleaned off like I wanted. And right now I've got it test fitted on the Lark. So basically I've got it where I want it at right now. Of course I marked my lines and everything on it so I don't forget. But she fit in there pretty good. I can't complain one bit. And I'm sitting level, going across. And on the Mustang 2 front end, from what I've gathered from talking with a few people and stuff online, you want the cross member zeroed out, left to right, front to back. So there you go there. As long as the lower control arms are level to the ground, front to back, and the cross member is zeroed out, front to back, left to right, we're good to go. So right now I just got it sitting here. I'm getting ready to do some tack welds on top. And what I want to do is, because I do have a little space on the inside of the frame to the Mustang frame, but the outside fit great. It's right up against the Studebaker frame rail. So what I'm going to do is, this little space right here, so I'm going to cut here, cut there. I'm going to heat it up, bring it in up against this, weld it, and bring it all in. I mean, this thing went together easier than I thought it was going to, and I was worrying myself to death. But can't complain. So with all the measuring I did, and the front to back, side to side, up and down, cross and everything, once I got this thing in here, I only had to trim off about a 1/2 inch on the frame. That was it. So now the fun part begins, is welding all this together, get the frame extensions back out this way where I need it at, so I can do the radiator core support and start fine tuning this front end and get it put back together. Now, the one thing I am going to use on this, coming out the front, because of the Studebaker frame setup coming out the front, so I'm basically going to use like a 2x2 square tubing, and we insert that into there, and that's going to be coming out for my radiator core support and bumper brackets and everything else. So I'm gonna come off to that, and then, like I said before, I'm gonna cut the front of this frame off right here. So that already gives me my bolt hole for this core support. It also gives me my bolt holes here and here for the bumper bracket. So all that'll blend in together, and I'm gonna try to get that done this weekend. But I've had a lot of you ask me, why did I go with the Mustang 2 front end? Partly because you can still get parts for these things pretty easily, and they're not that expensive. And the other thing is, I had a lot of people asking, why didn't I do a Crown Vic front end on this? I had a couple guys that, it's a bolt in, 4 bolts is done. Well, the Crown Vic and cross member is wider than the Studebaker. I think from hub to hub is 67 inches on a Crown Vic. I'm sitting at roughly 61 inches here on the Mustang frame. It says in the thing with the 34-inch cross member, it sits about 60. So I'm sure that'll change once I lift everything up. And it's just a little bit, about 1 inch narrower overall between this and the old Studebaker setup, which is fine by me. We can take care of that with the offset of the wheel. And, but that's kind of why I went with it. And to me, it was an easy choice. I mean, it basically slid right into the frame with almost no problem. So I was looking for the ease of it, the accessibility of parts, It's really, the Mustang 2s are common on a bunch of hot rod builds and stuff, like 32 coupes, drag cars. I mean, you name it. This front end is used for almost everything and anything. Is it dated? Yeah, it's a little dated, but the good thing is the aftermarket world still supplies a lot of parts for these things. So I can update the springs, the A-arms. Of course, like I already told you, when I got this one, it came with a brand new set of upper tubulars. So we're still trying to figure if we want to do the bottom A-arm kit to where it does away with the stabilizer bar, but we'll see. Because at the end of the day, even though this thing's kind of on a budget, but I'm happy the way it fits. And I also had another guy that watched the last video was kind of asking why I decided to go with this front end and why I do it on a car that's hard to find parts for. Certain parts are hard to find for the Studebaker stuff, but there's a lot of stuff you can still get, and a lot of it's still OEM, old stock, still in boxes. There's a few companies out there. The biggest one is Studebaker International. They have a lot of inventory. And from what I can gather, when Studebaker shut down, this company bought everything they had. And then I also know a couple of months ago, there was a guy that bought somebody out that had a huge inventory of Studebaker parts. But they're out there. And with it being a rare car, I mean, yes and no, but the body style of this thing was just cool. It just screaming, build me. And that's what we're doing. You know, like I said, I'm going to do the Gen 3 Hemi swap in it. It's going to have a 345 Hemi in it with the Nag 1. And it's going to be a cool little ride. You know, now there's some guys out there, purists, it's like, why are you cutting up a perfect good car? But if you've been following this build, this thing was pretty roached out. I mean, a lot of rust. Floors got to be completely redone. The fenders were roached out. So, I mean, if the car was in a lot better shape than it was when I got it, if I had another car that was better shape, I probably wouldn't go this far into it. But since it is, and I want to give it a second life, you know, so we're going to do this. We're going to have fun with it. And I don't know much more to say. I mean, I'm happy with it now. I just got to get this welded up and keep on trucking. And I'm happy with it so far. So, like I said, it's zeroed out on both ends. So, zeroed out left to right. So, I mean, it's pretty set where it needs to be at. So, I'm happy with it. But like I said, guys, you know, that's my reasoning for the Mustang 2. You know, I've heard people use like a C4 Corvette front end suspension. You know, so I mean, if you got the money, you can buy what you want. If you don't have a whole lot of money, you work with what you have and what you can get at a reasonable price, which is what we're doing here with this. But other than that, I'm going to get back to work on this. Y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you down the road. See you on the next one.